بسم الله الرحمن الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قد أفلح من تزكى وذكر اسم ربه فصلى صدق الله العظيم اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Alhamdulillah, although this part of the discourse is not part of your training program, but it is necessary to know certain things which we were discussing just after having the food. So I thought that these things should be very clear, because if a person is going through purification and ascension, and after that he's still asking what his soul, what his spirit, it's like someone have been hearing all night the story of Sayyidina Yusuf alayhi salam, and in the surah Yusuf, and in the morning they said, was Yusuf alayhi salam man or woman? So then what will the person get then if they are still? So if after going through purification and ascension and they're still asking what is different soul and spirit and body, this is the same thing. So you can know that how actually many a times we confuse things because they have different labels. The Quran uses different words for different things. Sometimes for same word is used for many, many different things. And in the books, it comes in their own terminology. I want you to stop thinking of the words, but just to recognize the reality. Then you can give it a name what you like. It doesn't matter. You will know the reality. So if it is this, I can explain to you that this is fluid, this is clear, it's beneficial. And then you can call it water, you can call it ma, you can call it pani, it doesn't matter. But if this you don't know, it's a fluid situation, what water looks like, then words can be confusing. So I want you to just to understand the reality of human being without putting a label on. After that you put label on you. So firstly I would say that there was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and there was nothing. In relation to us, we are concerned, Allah Azza wa Jal created our existence. Our existence. We came into existence by the command of Allah Jalla Majduhu, by His saying kun. That first thing, the first thing which came into existence was not made of dust or anything like this. It was made of light. Light. It was immaterial and made of light. So you can see a light being. It is the power where, like when you put a battery in a phone, in the phone there is a charge, a light charge, which is the life of all the phone. So that charge Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from himself, because he has the charge only. He is the source of the charge. He is Hayy. So, وَرَفَخْتُ فِيهِ مِنْ رُوحِي. Ruhi also means life. So, no one can be alive without getting life from somewhere. Where did the first entity get life from? There was no life. It was from Allah's life. And from Allah's life, we mean Allah's name, Al-Hayy, or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala other asma. So from the power of those asma, from the power of Allah is all living. From that, a thing was created, given life. So it was a living thing, like a battery charge. Now that charge, that light was an entity, was a being. You can give it any name, but it is after all life in simple terms. Life force, life charge. You can call it current of life, entity of life, but it is a life. Like when we put in the phone our battery, the phone starts working. The charge is in there. So you can call it anything, but firstly you should understand it is a life force. It is a life entity, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put many, many qualities in it. So basically that's it actually. That's our origin, that's our essence. That's when I say me, I refer to that. That is powerful thing. So here Allah created the spirit first. Look at the screen. It was light. It has not any color as such, but a light form or anything. This is just to show you representation. That spirit, when Allah Azza wa Jal subhanahu wa ta'ala created that, which we say the life, spirit means life, or ruh also means life. So life force, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it one thing. What was that? That was an amana, that was a trust, a power, another power. So in that light, Allah put another power, which is known as in the Quran, إِنَّا عَرَضْنَا الْأَمَانَةَ عَلَى السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَالْجِبَالِ. And Imam Hassan al-Basri, rahimahullah ta'ala, says, that power or that amana, what is it? Was the power to choose between good and evil, freedom. Freedom meaning actually good. So spirit, even angels, they are meaning alive, but they don't have this part because they themselves said we don't want it. Animals have spirit, but they don't have this. So this came into the spirit, freedom of will. So here it comes. So this is, that's me, that's you. That is the part which will be punished really or rewarded. All others are just tools. Others are just given as trusts, as amanas. But this is the real thing which is going to be punished. So let's say if my finger is cut, where does the pain? Who feels the pain? It is this entity which feels the pain through the mind, through the brain. If I find pleasure, where does the pleasure? My tongue doesn't feel pleasure. The signal is sent to the mind, and the mind itself is not nothing. It is that actually where the pleasure goes. So this, you can give it any name, but understand at least its reality. But this is life, this is light, this is life charge, this is current, this is the one who is responsible, where the burden is put. Everything else is given to it as a test. That's not my reality. That's not me. I can't say me. That's why we say my body, my mind, my this, my this. Who is my? My is referring to this. Okay. You understand up to now? So, second thing. Then Allah blessed this spirit with 4 amanat, 4 further trusts. अल्लाह पाक ने फिर इस रूह को 4 अमानतें दी आजमाइश के लिए कि मैं तुम्हारी आजमाइश करनी है, क्योंकि वो जो आज़ादी दे दी थी उसके मतलब अब आजमाइश होनी थी, तो अल्लाह पाक ने फरमाया अब 4 चीज़ें तुम्हें दूंगा मैं, उससे तुम्हारी ये सारी आजमाइश होनी। नंबर 1, ये देखें, ये जो चीज़ आपको नज़र आ रही है, हड्डियाँ, गोश्त, फ्लैश, ब्लड, बोन्स, द फिजिक स्ट्रक्चर, वट एवर यू मे कॉल, आप मर्जी, मैं आपको सिर्फ रियलिटी बता रहा हूँ, नाम आपको इसको दो दे, आप जिस्म कह लें, आप जसद कह लें, आप बॉडी कह लें, इट डजंट मैटर। एज फार एज आई एम कंसर्न, यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड कि भाई देयर इज सम फिजिकल एग्जिस्टेंस, ये आप भी जानते, ये कोई सीक्रेट नहीं है, यू कैन टच योर फिजिकल एग्जिस्टेंस, अब ये कोई। So Allah Azza wa Jal gave it this. That is why that is a separate entity. It's not part of the ruh. That's why on the day of judgment, my hand, physical hands are going to speak against me because it is something else. I won't speak against myself, but this will. Why? Because this is something else. This is not me. That is my foolishness. I've been thinking this is my stomach and my body and thing, etc., etc. That's my foolishness. So one should be very clear. There's no confusion at all. It is dead or alive. It's a body. Okay. Second thing, Allah Azza wa Jal subhanahu wa ta'ala created a mind, intellect, the place of it which is in the head. Aql, intellect. So what we think with, where we analyze things, our mental self, that is, as I said, physical self. This is also a personality, a mental personality, that everyone has different IQ, different EQ, whatever. So this is mental self, this is separate. What does it can only analyze information. Whatever comes, it can analyze, it can speculate, it can think, thought, etc., etc., etc. But the power of thinking comes from the spirit. The power the mind is getting from there, actually. Because it is life, as you know, for example, if to the mind, brain, oxygen doesn't reach for 1, 2 minutes, 10 minutes, then it's gone. Dead. So this is our mental self, how we think, how we analyze things, thoughts come, go. And this has also, brain have 2 parts. Very small part, the spirit can use freedom. But the large part of the mind, we have no control over. Only a small part which analyzes things, we can decide matters. All other still is not under the spirit or under any as the one at all. Except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is controlling. Which is that part? यानी दिमाग का भी छोटा सा हिस्सा सिर्फ हमारे इख्तियार में, वो जो हम इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं, बाकी जो उसका बड़ा हिस्सा है वो हमारे इख्तियार में नहीं है, वो किसी के इख्तियार में भी नहीं है, वो ना रूह कर सकती है, ना कल्ब के इख्तियार में है, ना किसी। वो कौन सा आप कहेंगे, वो कौन सा? यही तो मैं कहता हूँ कि हमें खुद अपना भी नहीं पता, तो फिर कैसे हम इस्लाह कैसे होगी? वो दिमाग का वो हिस्सा, द पार्ट ऑफ दैट माइंड, दैट पार्ट ऑफ द ब्रेन विच इज कंट्रोलिंग योर हार्ट बीट, वो कौन सा, कौन बंदा उसको कंट्रोल कर रहा है, उस दिमाग के हिस्से को? द पार्ट विच इज कंट्रोलिंग योर टेम्परेचर, द पार्ट विच इज डाइजेस्टिंग, the part which is differentiating between vitamins, the part which is pumping the blood, the heart beat जो कंट्रोल कर रहा है, किडनी फंक्शन जो कंट्रोल कर रहा है, ब्रीदिंग विच इज कंट्रोल, वो कौन कर रहा है? मैं तो नहीं कर रहा. That part of the brain which I control, that part is not controlling this thing. For example, I'm sleeping, all this system is working. If I had to think, मैं सांस लूँ ना लूँ, मेरा खाना हजम हो, पता ही नहीं अंदर क्या है, सोचना क्या है. What can we give instruction to the mind when I do not even know the organs and anything? So even this part जो अल्लाह पाक ने ये बनाया, उसका ज़्यादा हिस्सा Allah Azza wa Jalla kept the large part under His control directly. So we can give it different names. Some people call subconscious mind. Some people call it the part of the brain which is not under our control. वो आपकी मर्जी, जो मर्जी नाम दे दें. But I am mentioning that this is second personality, the mental self, your mental self. And in your mental self, small part between choosing good and bad is under your control. The large part is not under your control. Okay, so if you understand this. Third, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created something which, a personality which has traits. For example, we can say this person is generous person. This person is compassionate person. It's his nature to be compassionate. It's his nature to be generous. It is his nature that he is brave. All these traits. So this we can call anything, but what is it in reality? It consists of strong, habitual qualities which become second nature, moral self. And you can easily know ye banda, what one person have, his akhlaq is how his akhlaq and how his personality, moral personality is. It doesn't change. You have to make a lot of effort to change it. It's very, very strong. That's why it becomes a moral self. So yeah, so you have traits. Everyone have nature. Someone is soft nature. Someone is becoming very angry very quickly, etc., etc. Someone have a generous heart. So all these sifat, khulq, this is moral self. So physical self, mental self, and fourth one, we can call it whatever, but let me explain to you, is emotions. Emotions is from motion. Motion means movement. That is moving, that these sentiments which are moving, which are not permanent. Like a person, we can say, oh, he has become very emotional. He become affected by his crying. So some people listening to Naat, they become emotional. So, and they think we love Rasulullah, whilst in the heart, there is not proper love. It's only an emotional hiccup. तो वो समझते हैं कि ये हमारी मोहब्बत हो गई, मोहब्बत नहीं हुई. It is emotion. एक मोशन आया है, वो चला गया है. Because that is, if you see a person dying with hunger or without clothes whilst you are in the street and you become emotional, compassionate, we can't say you are a generous person. That was only the nafs reaction to temporal reaction. Generous person will be generous no matter he is in the bed, he is in the home, wherever he is. It's not only when he sees things he gets affected. The quality will be there. So that quality will be in the heart. वो दिल में होती है. That's called qalb. The moral self is there. So emotions, actually love, hatred, like I've said many times, there's something called emotional management. Nafs management, you can say. So we use the word nafs. Emotional intelligence. Which person is emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence इसको कहते हैं, मिसाल के तौर पर आपको गुस्सा आ गया. The emotionally intelligent person will not let the anger harm him or others. But if he is emotionally intelligent, he will have an extra thing in him. He will be able to control the anger and emotions of the other person in front of him. उसको हम कह सकते हैं he has emotional intelligence, that he controls himself plus he controls the other person. Emotion, उसको गुस्सा आया हुआ है, ये उसको भी कंट्रोल करता है, मैनेज करता है, अपने आप को भी मैनेज करता है. इसको कहते हैं इमोशनल, बिकॉज इट्स अ टेम्परल एक्चुअली थिंग है. और जो अपने आप को भी कंट्रोल ना कर सके, so he has emotion. So let's say like the behavior scientists or others, they say when you see a car, a woman which attracts you, house, they say this is emotional reaction. And if you fall in love, you think, they say that this love have a time period of 3 days. In a passing love. आप गली में निकले, गाड़ी पसंद आ गई. अब 3 days, if you don't think and don't interact again, it will go by itself. वो खुद ही system, the system actually will actually filter it. कोई औरत पसंद आ गई, आप सोचें ना, बार बार उसको फोन ना करें, टेक्स्ट ना करें, 3 days it will go away. That is temporal, emotional meaning. अगर दिल में बैठ जाए, if it comes in the heart, then they say the time period can be lengthy. Even if it's a romantic type love, दिल में आ गई, तो उसकी भी वो कहते हैं it's about 18-month age. That love or attachment has a life period, lifespan of 18 months. किसी को कहते हैं मुझ वाकई दिल में मोहब्बत आ गई, नफ्स में नहीं, दिल में आ गई, तो वो भी 18 महीने से ज़्यादा नहीं रह सकती. So that is why mostly these love marriages fail. क्योंकि 18 months after they fail, because that goes low, becomes normal. They fail or they become normal husband and wife. There is no difference between the love married couple and arranged married couple now. They're both on the same scale after 18 months. So this is something reality. So the thing is, so I'm giving you an example of emotional. So all these emotions, that is temporal thing coming, hypes and coming, they are to do with something which we call our emotional self. You can call it nafs if you want. We can call it soul if you want. But it is emotion. Everyone knows I have emotion. I get affected by it. I get angry quickly sometimes. I get captivated by beauty immediately. So people, for example, they are looking on TV, sale, this is, or on, for them, computer, this thing is, then advert is coming. Oh yes, we want to order it. This is emotion. This is the nafs attracted to it. If you close it down and say, I will order tomorrow, 50% chance are you will change your mind. Why shall I buy this? Because now you are thinking with the intellect as well. At that time, that was dominant. So that is why Prophet ﷺ said, Al-ujlatu min ash-shaytan. And you can call it from the nafs. Hastiness is from the devil, or it can be from the nafs. So one shouldn't do things out of hastiness. No, 99% you will do harm, hastiness. And he ﷺ made exception that accept 5 things. And he mentioned this is not our topic, like offering janazah if someone has died, paying off debt, for example, serving the guest. He mentioned accept 5 things. So accept that 5 things. In everything, Imagine you are doing a shaitanic act in business or in home, and lot of separation, divorces, fights, killings happen because of this hastiness. One person says and the other reacts immediately. So العجلة من الشيطان والأناة من الرحمن. संजीदगी अल्लाह की तरफ से है. Thoughtfulness is from Allah. Thoughtfulness, meaning when you think about anything and take time. And hastiness is from shaitan, because shaitan and nafs, they are both very close friends. Remember, there was no other shaitan who came to mislead him. It was only his emotional self, because he also did. Why says shaitan? He immediately reacted to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If he had given thought, Allah knows. Allah said, Usjudu li Adam, immediate reaction. He didn't. So this immediate reaction actually harmed him. He said, okay, I will do, or I'll do later, etc. He was, no, etc. Nothing like this. So we know we can learn this lesson that these quick decisions is not good ones. So if I am a fool, at least I should know that if I make quick decisions, I am going to harm. I should just actually not make any decision quickly, but just calmly, 1 day, 2 days. But anyway, so this emotional self part is enough. And when you do something again and again with the nafs, then it penetrates into the heart as well. फिर वो नफ्स से फिर वो दिल में आ जाती है, मजबूत हो जाती है. And then from the heart also it goes to the mind, and the mind becomes affected by it as well. Because then they both use the mind as a slave to fulfill their desire. So it becomes a shaitanic mind. You see, there are 7 types of intellect. There is a brain shaitanic intellect. There is animalistic intellect. Akal bhi 7 किस्मों की. शैतानी अकल भी, angelic, फरिश्तों वाली अकल भी, नफसानी अकल भी, and मुहम्मदी अकल भी. ये 7 किस्में उसकी अकल की. Why there's different types? Because whatever the intellect comes under, it becomes that intellect. So शैतान के अंदर आ गई तो शैतानी अकल बन जाएगी. नफ्स के अंदर, if it comes under nafs, becomes a nafsanic aqal. If it comes under desire, so it becomes animalistic aqal. So aqal is not good or bad by itself, but what it comes under, that actually. So when things start coming in the heart, then the intellect also becomes the slave of these things. So that's why we always say tazkiyah nafs starts from here, because the evil starts from here, or goodness starts from here as well. So now we know our physical self, doesn't matter what name you give, mental self, moral self, and emotional self. Emotions that are reacting immediately, emotionally, love, hatred, other things actually. So no confusion. There's no confusion. You can check yourself. This is your physical. Touch your brain. This is their mental. And what you react immediately, instantly, that is the emotions. Your emotions, which you sway, they're very powerful. They can hijack things. And what is permanent in your personality, that is your heart. So once you understood this, ये समझ आ गई तो आगे आप देखिए now. So here is your spirit, ये आपकी रूह हो गई. Body acts, mind thinks, heart character, nafs desires, emotions desires. So 4 things. So I hope everyone is clear. So now, through these 4 trusts, we interact with 4 entities. In 4 के ज़रिए चार से ही वास्ता पड़ता है इनका। With four entities you have to deal with you through these four things. कौन सी? Number one, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Body will deal with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through, actually, body with Allah. How does it react? How does it act in relation to Allah? जिस्म अल्लाह के साथ कैसा तल्लक रखता है, दिमाग अल्लाह के साथ कैसा तल्लक रखता है, दिल, heart, character, what type of character is the relation with Allah, and the nafs relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So देखना नहीं, these four have connection, you have to interact, इनसे वास्ता पढ़ना ही पढ़ना है. Second one is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. These four also will interact. ये नबी अलैहिस्सलाम से भी वास्ता इनका पड़ेगा, तल्लक होगा, जिस्म का भी दिमाग का भी किसी ना किसी तरह का तल्लक होगा. थर्ड वन, ह्यूमन बींग्स, इंसानों के साथ भी तल्लक पड़ेगा इन चारों का. एंड द फोर्थ वन, रेस्ट ऑफ द क्रिएशन. अब देख ले बाकी बचा ही फिर क्या, देयर इज नथिंग लेफ्ट. कि अल्लाह उसके रसूल सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम भी आ गए और इंसान और दूसरी सारी मखलूक उसमें आ गई, बकिया. इन चारों का ताल्लुक इन चारों से जुड़ता है. सो आई होप यू हैव अंडरस्टूड अप टू नाउ. अब देखें कि वो ताल्लुक किस तरह का होता है. इट्स नॉट अ वेरी इजी. ताल्लुक सिर्फ दो तरह का होता है. टू टाइप्स ऑफ रिलेशनशिप ओनली विल हैव. नंबर टू, द इंटरेक्शन कैन बी पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव, दो ही हो सकते हैं, गुड और बैड, वर्चुअस और सिंफुल. यानी अल्लाह से या जिस्म का बुरा तल्लक हो सकता है या अच्छा तल्लक होगा, या वो नाफरमानी करेगा या इताअत करेगा. द माइंड विल हैव अ गुड रिलेशनशिप विद अल्लाह, थिंकिंग ऑफ हिज प्रेजेंस, और विल बी हीडलेस. द हार्ट विल हैव दोज क्वालिटीज विच अल्लाह डज नॉट लाइक, और इफ अल्लाह लाइक्स. The nafs will be desire, wishing evil, which Allah does not like, Allah against Allah's command, or wishing good. So it can have four. Four of them will have two types of relationship. Similarly, with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, also these four will have two types of relationship. दो तरह के वास्ता पढ़ना. Similarly with creation. This is a long presentation. ये देखें, ये बहुत लंबी है. मैं ये मकसद नहीं है बताना, मैंने सिर्फ वो उनकी हकीकत, वरना ये आगे जाती है फिर बताती है जिस्म का अल्लाह के साथ अच्छा तल्लक क्या होता है. ये मसलन बता रही, ये बुरा तल्लक क्या होता है, नेगेटिव इंटरेक्शन विद बॉडी और विद अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला. इसी तरह फिर हर एक का, फिर माइंड का विद रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम बॉडीज रिलेशनशिप, नबी अलैहिस्सलाम. लेकिन ये लंबी फिर कभी करेंगे. बट आई जस्ट वांटेड टू सेट द सीन सो यू नो कि भाई दिस इज द रियलिटी ऑफ दीज फोर थिंग विच आई हैव. आई एम द रूह. ये देखे दरमियान में, यू आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल बिकॉज द अमाना यू हैव. और चार ही चीज़ों से तल्लक है. नाउ लेट मी मेंशन टू यू समरी ऑफ होल ऑफ इस्लाम. सारे इस्लाम का खुलासा आपके जहन में आ जाएगा. ये बात, एक ही बात समझ लो कि ये जो चार चीज़ें हैं, ऑल दीज फोर थिंग्स विच आई हैव मेंशन एंड द फोर अबव, इस्लाम ये है कि इन चीज़ों से किसी को नुकसान ना पहुँचे, कोई नाराज़ ना हो, और हर एक को खुशी पहुँचे. बस यही सारा इस्लाम है. इन जिया दैट ऑल शुड रिसीव बेनिफिट एंड नॉन शुड रिसीव हार्म और डिसप्लेजर. अल्लाह को नुकसान तो नहीं, लेकिन नाराज़ कर सकते हैं आप. तो नुकसान, नाराज़ ना करना अल्लाह किसी को, और हर एक को जो है नफ़ा पहुँचाना. ये जितनी भी इस्लामी अहकाम, अवामिर, नवाही, फ्रॉम अकीदा टू फ़िक़्ह और वट एवर, वो सारी की सारी, ऑल ऑफ देम कम अंडर दीज टू कैटेगरीज. यू डोंट नीड टू बी अ बिग स्कॉलर टू नो व्हाट इज़ रॉन्ग एंड राइट. ये नुस्खा पता चल गया, इससे किसी को फ़ायदा हो रहा है कि नुकसान हो रहा है, बस समझ लें कि हदीस कुरान में भी 99% वही होगा कि वो ना करो ये। कोई बंदे को बहुत बड़ा आलिम, ही कैन नो थाउजेंड ऑफ हदीस बाय जस्ट नोइंग दिस वन प्रिंसिपल। इस्लाम के जितने अहकाम हैं वो सिर्फ बस ये 2 कैटेगरीज में आएंगे, या इन 4 चीज़ों के नफ़े का बता रहे होंगे, या 4 चीज़ों से जो नुकसान पहुँच उसको गुनाह गिरदान रहे होंगे। बस यही खुलासा है, बस इतनी ज़हन में रख ले बस बंदा, ही कैन नॉट गो रॉन्ग, वो अपना गलत नहीं हो सकता। तो आप अलैहिस्सलाम से पूछा गया व्हाट इज सिन, ही सेड व्हाटएवर एक्चुअली क्रिएट्स डाउट इन यू, इट्स राइट और रॉन्ग। किसी अब मैं कि अगर ये आ जाए कि ये नुकसान देगी या नफ़ा देगी चीज़, तो फिर भी फरमाया कि ये ज़्यादातर यही है कि ये गुनाह हो। So if Islam is very easy, the command, Allah has made it more easy by even mentioning those acts. वो हमारे लिए सानी कुरान हदीस ने। आप किसी कुरान की आयत हदीस की मिसाल पढ़ दें, मैं आपको बताऊंगा, दिस विल कम अंडर दीज 2 कैटेगरीज। गीबत हो, कत्ल हो, चोरी हो, नेकी हो, नमाज हो, रोज़ा हो, कोई भी आयत, एक 1 वर्स, सो इट्स एज दो यू नो द हकीकत ऑफ दीन। इसको कहते हैं दीन की समझ आ जाना कि भाई दीन है क्या असल में, व्हाट इज़ द रियलिटी ऑफ दीन। और यही तसव्वुफ तज़किया भी सारा इसी के लिए है कि दैट ऑल दिस नेगेटिव पार्ट कम। एंड द प्रॉफेट अलैहिस्सलाम मेंशन इट वेरी वेरी क्लियरली अगेन एंड अगेन। आपने बार बार इसी चीज़ का बयान कि तुमसे किसी को नुकसान ना पहुँचे। When he was mentioned अय्युल आमाली अहब्बु इलल्लाह, कौन सा अमल सबसे ज़्यादा महबूब है, इन using these 4 things he said the one which brings a joy into someone's heart or removing harm from someone। किसी को खुश कर देना या किसी की परेशानी दूर कर देना, वही 2 ही चीज़ें हैं, वही इस्लाम है, वही ईमान है। When he was asked what is iman, he said who is mu'min, from the one from whose others wealth and honor is in aman, he is mu'min, he said। तो इस्लाम तो कोई रॉकेट साइंस है नहीं, बड़ा सिंपल है, लेकिन हमने वो तफसीलें बयान कर करके फिर भी ये पता नहीं पीछे असूल क्या काम कर रहा है। सो दैट इज़ वाई व्हेन प्रॉफेट इस्लाम फॉर एग्जाम्पल वुड से रोज़े रख रहे हैं हम, सो रसूलुल्लाह सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम said look at this principle, ये सूल पीछे कार फरमाया, मल्लम यदा कौल ज़ूर वल अमल बिह फलैसा लिल्लाहि हाजतन अन यदा तामहु व शराबा। You are fasting, fasting is good, but Prophet Islam said whoever will not abandon harmful speech and harmful action, sinful, Allah does not want him to stay hungry. End of the story, because the story was about harming and benefiting, it was not about fasting. Similarly, salah, if salah doesn't stop you from it, then if hajj, similar the case is. So I hope you are clear. One other clarification about the nafs, misconception about the nafs is that we think nafs is harming us, but the reality is otherwise. We think everyone is saying, oh, nafs is very dangerous, but the reality is otherwise. Reality is opposite. Let me mention to you a story for just to explain this. One disciple and seeker went for purification of the nafs to a sheikh. You are the true sheikh. So he stayed him for 1 month or 2 months and then said, Sheikh, please give me permission, I want to go. He said, well, your course is not complete yet, but you want to go. He said, well, thank you very much for helping me, but this nafs is never going to become purified. I've left everything, come here, still it's disturbing me, bad thoughts, evil desires. After all this dhikr and muraqabats and everything, it is still pushing towards evil, so I've given it up. Thank you, I thank you, I pray for you, you've helped me. But this will never become better. ने कहा भाई कुत्ते की दुम की तरह ये सीधा नहीं हुआ कभी, तो आपकी मेहरबानी, आपने भी कोशिश कर ली है। The Shaykh said that, okay, it's up to you, but let's see. He was actually a true Shaykh. He said, okay, we'll do muraqabah and see what the situation. So they did muraqabah like we do. And in muraqabah, he showed him his nafs as a separate entity. So now there are two persons. One is, for example, Bashir, and the other one is nafs. So Bashir's spirit is sitting here, the nafs is sitting there. And so there are two persons, and the Shaykh there. And so in the muraqabah, the Shaykh says to the nafs, oh nafs, why are you bothering him? He wants to come closer to Allah. After all, he wants to do goodness to you as well. And why are you bothering him and torturing him so much that he's become fed up now? The nafs says that actually, thing is that he has stolen my treasures. And he comes into my kingdom and steals my things and goes away. So the Shaykh said to the disciple, look, what the nafs is saying, what have you stolen? And why you go in his kingdom? He said, well, that's even emphasizing what I was saying before. Look, lie upon lie. I am here for 2 months, and what he is saying, look, I only have my clothes with me, and astaghfirullah. That's what I am saying. I am going. This is zulm upon zulm. So the Shaykh says to the nafs, that look, he doesn't have anything. He has never been to your kingdom, and he never stole anything from you. You are accusing him. Tell what is the evidence. What is your kingdom? What is your treasure? The nafs says, well, my kingdom is heedlessness, ghafla. मेरा मुल्क जो है वो गफलत है. My kingdom is heedlessness. Now the Shaykh said, have you been in this country yet? In heedlessness, in ghafla, forgetfulness. Now he was putting his head down. He said, yeah, sometime I go. But I've never stolen anything. That is a lie completely. So the Shaykh says to the nafs, look, maybe he's been to your territory, but he never stolen anything. What he's stolen? Having evidence, he said, the nafs, what is your treasure? He said, my treasure is hasad, hatred, sin, ghiba. All these are my treasures. Actually, the nafs umara's sifat are these. He said, sometime he comes, he drinks a cup of arrogance. Sometime he comes, he eats fruit of, for example, ostentation, or fruit of hatred. Sometimes he takes bunch of actually lies from me. So he's been visiting me and he's been taking all this. So the Shaykh said, well, do you have these things? Have you taken these things? Have you these habits and things? Then he was head down. He said, yeah, I do. So the nafs said, actually, the third thing is, Shaykh, you are a pious man. He is saying that I have done being wronging him. मैंने इस पर जुल्म किया है सारी जिंदगी, तो अब भी करो, ये जा रहा है तंग होके. While my creator and his creator and your creator says the opposite. What does God say? What does Allah say? He said, Allah says, وَمَا كَانَ اللَّهُ لِيَظْلِمَهُمْ وَلَكِنْ كَانُوا أَنفُسَهُمْ يَظْلِمُونَ رَبَّنَا ظَلَمْنَا أَنفُسَنَا. That he said, the God says the people wrong the nafs. People do zulm upon the nafs, not the nafs does zulm upon people. So like said, Rabbana zalamna. So he said, Adam alayhi saying, I have wrong, or I have actually my nafs. He's not saying the nafs have actually wronged me. Okay, nafs also is wrong. And said that the Prophet ﷺ taught the dua to Sahaba Ikram, Allahumma inni zalamtu nafsi. Oh Allah, I have oppressed my nafs. He didn't say the nafs has oppressed me. He said, who shall we believe now then? Allah and His Messenger or this person? Who he is doing zulm and he is saying, I am zalim. And fourth thing that I've said, who has the power? Who is in the driving seat? I don't have any decision-making power. I can only desire this women, I like women. This is food, I like food. But I don't have the power to make decision. Who have the decision-making power? It is the spirit, it is the ruh and the intellect, not me. The Shaykh said, now the disciple was completely quiet. So after the muraqabah finished, the Shaykh said, Yell, you know now what's reality? Yes. Now sit in that corner and work on yourself. And take this poor nafs in Jannah as well with you. So this is also one of the delusions of which people are, that they always thinking they are playing the victim, that we are the victim. Rather, the nafs is the victim. That's why why will our hands give testimony against us? Because they are the victim. They will say, we are victim. We didn't have any decision-making power. وَقَالُوا لِجَلُودِهِمْ لِمَا شَهِدْتُمْ عَلَيْنَا. The hands will say, we didn't have any decision-making. The feet will say, it is this. Similarly, the nafs will say as well. Similarly, the intellect will say as well, that this person used me wrongly. So after all, you inside, you are responsible. Because in the beginning, the amana was given, a freedom of will was given to you, not to the nafs to the body, not to the heart, and not to the intellect. These things are part of the test. They are tools through which Allah is testing. They don't have any choice. Unka to ikhtiyar hi nahi hai. So I hope you understood, mashallah, our honorable guest, Allama Sardar Ahmad Qadri. He asked this, mashallah, question. So, mashallah, so many people have benefited. I hope you are clear now about this. But this presentation continues, mashallah, and it actually, so we can teach normal, illiterate people the reality of Islam by just saying the two things, my brother, you need. No harm should come from you, body, mind, and benefit. This is all Islam. Man salim al muslimin. You don't need to, for example, so much thousands of ahadith. Many of the Sahaba, only 5 ahadith are narrated from them. Many of them saw Rasulullah only once in their lifetime. But they reached high because first time they understood what is the reality. All Islam in a nutshell they knew. We are not to harm, displease Allah, His Messenger, the creation, the human being. We are to benefit everyone, simple as that. So they never actually disagreed on that. All their disagreement was, for them, prayer. You can pray hands here, because that is not, you are not harming anyone by doing here or there. So it's an optional thing. Every Imam actually just mentioned his preference. But on other matters, they are unanimous. So here, any question you want to ask, and then after the break, you can continue the next session. No. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Alhamdulillah, we have to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the blessing to be with this true Shaykh, which we learn from him in few minutes what we didn't learn at the universities during our life. Alhamdulillah. We still have some questions or some debated issues concerning the difference between self and the spirit. And we know that spirit is another entity which is just created after the birth of human being, but the spirit was from the world of spirit. But there are some big or greatest awliya of Allah, like Mulay al-Arabi al-Darqawi of Morocco and Sidi Abu Hamid al-Ghazali, who mentioned that the self or the soul and the spirit are the same entity. But if they purify the self, if it is purified, it's become spirit. So the question, why this great awliya understand this, make this kind of, they don't make any difference between the spirit and the soul. This is one thing. Another thing is in the world of spirit, which is spirits created before the human being. But there is sometimes the Quranic verses about that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala وَإِذَا خَذَا رَبُّكَ مِنْ بَنِي آدَمَ مِنْ ظُهُورِهِمْ ذُرِّيَّتَهُمْ وَأَشْهَدَهُمْ عَلَى أَنفُسِكُمْ أَلَسْتُ بِرَبِّكُمْ قَالُوا بَلَى شَهِدْنَا أَنْ تَقُولُوا يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ إِنَّا كُنَّا عَنْ هَذَا غَافِلِينَ. Or there is also in the hadith Sahih that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took from the back of Adam, what is this? The spirits and make take something from the back of Adam, and nasamat, it's called nasamat or nasaim, from the back of Adam, and tell us be spirits and then become spirits. So according to the understanding of this hadith and Quranic verse, that the spirits created after the creation of Adam. Also, if you can just give us some clarification about this, and also some details about the component and the time which happened, the first one, second one, third, for components. Yeah,
right.
Please. Thank you so much.
Right. I hope you have understood the question. Dr. Aziz is mentioning that some of the scholars have said that the spirit and the soul is one thing. If it is purified, everything becomes the spirit, and if it's not, actually, okay. And so this is कि भाई कई बुजुर्गान दीन ने फरमाया कि भाई अगर बंदे ये एक ही चीज़ है, अगर इस्लाह हो जाए तो सारे की सारी वो रूह ही है, वह ना हो तो वो नफ्सी है. For example, so to understand this, that awliya Allah, they sometimes they speak in their language of majaz, haqiqa. Sometimes they are giving an example, for example, and what they mean they clarify other. So let me just mention this as an example for you. For example, one person stood up in the time of Sayyidina Abdul Qadir Jilani rahmatullah alayhi in his majlis, and he said that Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani rahimahullah ta'ala, he mentioned something about halal, haram, gave fatwa, or you may say, and someone stood up, he said that I have heard a hadith that even the muftis, if they give fatwa, still ask your heart. Still get the fatwa from your heart. And now this is the hadith as well, that's what he mentioned rightly. So Shaykh Abdul Qadir Jilani rahmatullah, when he stood up, he said, stand up, the questioner. And he looked at him. He said, what the Prophet ﷺ said was truth. But you cannot do this, because from head to toe, I cannot see heart in you. Only you are entity of nafs and lust from head to toe. It's not for you. This is for the person, inna fi dhalika liman kana lahu qalb, who have a heart, purified heart, that will never misguide him. But you gentlemen are total lust. Your nafs is lust, your heart is lust, your spirit is lust, everything. So he sat down. So meaning that sometimes what they mean is the same thing, that if you may say the qualities of the spirit, like it's an entity, purity, if the nafs become purified, it becomes like nafs mutmainna, as you have mentioned, the purified. So the hal, the ahkam of the spirit become upon him. So he will be treated as actually ruh. So similarly, if similarly the akal as well, that if, as is mentioned, there is a shaitanic akal, we can't say there is a nafsanic akal, there is actually. So if the akal comes under the instruction of the nafs, we can say his akal is nafs as well, actually. And if the ruh and the characteristics of the ruh comes dominate the mind, the heart, the soul, then they are all in hukam of the ruh. So they are speaking on the kind. They are not denying the reality of that there is no difference between aqal, ruh, nafs actually, but they are saying actually that if they are purified, then the nafs also becomes like ruh actually. If not purified, then actually the spirit also actually get affected, and it becomes like the nafs as well, and the aqal as well, and the total person actually is. So that is what but they are not denying their reality by ruh, nafs, aqal. They are separate entities, but actually, like we say, this person is total hawa, for example, he is total hawa. He is an angel when we say. That doesn't mean in any way he becomes an angel, meaning the angelic qualities are dominant upon him. So if spiritual quality is dominant, we can say the way his heart, mashallah, is very pure, like an angel. His heart is purified, etc., etc. So that is. But they have their own realities by itself. Aqal, intellect, body, mind, heart, soul. But as I was mentioning in the Quran, sometimes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used the word interchangeably for whole personalities. For example, like we mentioned, I was giving them an example upstairs, like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, kataba ala nafsihi rahma. So we can't say this is some entity Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala means there's a nafs of Allah, na'uz billah, or anything like this. Like we have nafs, for example. All it means is the personality, is total entity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alaykum anfusukum, for example. There it means the total body, mind, heart, soul, all is addressed when separately addressed then actually. So also in many other verses. But one can know the difference when they are mentioned in one ayah, then one can know the difference as well. For example, Allahu yatawaffal anfusa hina mawtiha wallati lam tamut fi manamiha. Allahu yatawaffal anfusa hina mawtiha wallati lam tamut fi manamiha fayumsiku allati qada alayhi al-mawta wa yursilu al-ukhra. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying as though the nafs entity part of that is actually possessed now at the time of sleep. But if the same thing, what is in the person which is keeping him alive, or to which Allah is saying faqada alayhi al-mauta wa yursilu al-ukhra, and then he sends something. So Allah is saying that I'm holding something, the nafs at the time of death. And then wa yursilu al-ukhra, he sends back those who are living. So whilst we are, for example, sleep, which part is keeping us alive? What is in the body of the human being? If the nafs or the ruh are the same thing, then actually Allah is saying the nafs has been taken, so we should have actually gone now. So when the Quran discusses, or in one sentence, in one verse, then one can know that he's talking about different things at different. But if it's just mentioning the nafs, sometimes it's a whole human being. The nafs shay, like in Arabic they say, the total entity. Actually, So and the other question you mentioned about that when they were taken out from Sayyidina Adam alayhi salam, what was the question about that?
is created after the Sayyidina Adam, because Sayyidina Adam was created first
Yes.
and then taken from his back the spirits. وَإِذَا خَذَ رَبُّكَ مِنْ بَنِي آدَمَ مِنْ ظُهُورِهِمْ. Yes, so,
Right. Right. This is, as they say, the, this happened in, like in the same hadith, it's mentioned that it happened in the plain of Arafah. It happened in physical world. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave it some kind of physical existence to this time. For example, when the arwah travel, when, for example, Prophet al-Islam met Sayyidina Adam al-Islam or night of Miraj, they had a body, body. So they take a form which is some called Jasad-e Mithali or Jasad-e Ruhani or something like this. So that was taken out at that time, but that as an entity of Ruh, it was already actually arwah were created together, where the prophets and Anbiya and Awliya, and they communicated with each other. Their place is different, because this hadith itself is indicating that it's not talking about actually the real home of the arwah. It is talking about the Medani Arafah. It is the plain of Arafah where this covenant took place. So they came from there. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala azza wa jal, you can say, like He, actually everyone came, is Bani Adam. At that time Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took out a form of the spirit, you may say, a form which was given to the spirit to take the covenant. So that's not saying that actually that the arwah were created from Adam al-Islam, but they came, the zuhur was actually from there, because same ulama, and they mention very clearly that the arwah were created from the nur of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the light. That's where their religion came. So you can give it name, like you say, nasamat, or a form which they take. Otherwise, like in night of Miraj, Anbiya came, they take a form. Or this in the barzakh, when we look at people, they take a form. So that type of form were taken out of Adam al-Islam. Like now the jasadi and with physical body until day of judgment, we came from Hazrat Adam, Sayyidina Adam al-Islam. There, with the temporal, you may say, nasamat or jasad-e misali, they were taken. So it's not mentioned that they were created at that time. They were brought there to take the promise and covenant. That was the part only. They were created long actually before. Actually, that is the thing.
अस्सलामु अलैकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू। अल्लाह ताला आपके इस वक्त में कि जिस वक्त में आपने दीन के मामलात को इतना आसान करके हम सब के लिए बयान किया, अल्लाह ताला इसकी आपको जज़ाए खैर अता फ़रमाए और हमें नफ़ा हासिल करने की मज़ीद तौफ़ीक़ अता फ़रमाए और फैज़ के हुसूल के लिए हमें ज़िंदगी भी दे, ताकि हम इसको आगे मैसेज के तौर पर दूसरों तक पहुंचा भी सकें। आपने अपनी गुफ्तगू में नफ्स की तारीफ़ फरमाई, फिर उसका ख़ज़ाना बयान फरमाया कि हसद, कीना, बुग़्ज़ ये उसका ख़ज़ाना है, और जब दूसरा बंदा लेता है उसके अमल को तो वो उससे चोरी हो जाती है। तो उसके साथ ही जो नफ्स लव्वामा और नफ्स मुतमइन्ना का ज़िक्र है, या अय्यतुहन नफ्सुल मुतमइन्ना इरजई इला रब्बिक रादियतम मर्दिया, तो यही इसी नफ्स का हिस्सा है या फिर कोई नफ्स की तारीफ़ होगी या कोई और लतीफ़ा है या क्या होगा फिर?
Now, inshallah, what Dr. Aziz asked before, वो फरमा रहे थे ना कि भाई जैसे मशाइख ने कहीं ने फरमाया कि अगर नफ्स रूह के हुक्म में ही है, अगर वो पाक हो जाए नहीं, तो अब वो बात सादिक आती है कि ये तो एक ही यानी वजूद है, लेकिन भाई सिफ़ात के एतबार से ये इसके ये नाम में मुख्तलिफ रख देते हैं कि जब इसकी इस्लाह हो जाए तो वो फिर मिसाल के तौर पर मुतमइन्ना बन गया, नहीं इस्लाह हुई तो ये उसको हम ये नाम दे रहे हैं। यानी तो ये यानी ऐसा नहीं कि भाई इसकी जिस तरह उलमा या सूफिया भी बयान करते हैं भाई 7 किस्में हैं, यानी 7 किस्में वो एक ही चीज़ की 7 किस्में हैं, ये नहीं कि वो बदलता रहता है भाई वो और चीज़ है वो और, वरना तो फिर हम अगर ये ऐसी बात है तो फिर नफ्स अमारा वो मुतमइन्ना हर एक में है, फिर ज़रूरत ही नहीं उसको बदलने की नफ्स अमारा को, फिर तो वो पहले ही लवामा भी है। तो ये उसी की हालतें अपना यानी बदलती बदलती उधर चली जाती हैं।
Assalamu alaikum. Sorry, I'm going to ask the same question again for my clarity, inshallah.
Okay.
That when there is nafs ammara and then lawama, mulhima, and then comes to mutmainna. So we know when the person is vibrating at the ammara level and lawama level, that the ruh is also being pulled down by it. But then when Allah says, Ya ayat nafsul mutmainna, irji'i ila rabbik, now come to me in this state, then the nafs is in a more balanced state. Then after that, Allah is saying that He will shift it up to radiyat and mardiyah. So does that mean now that, because there is polarity, so once it gets to mutma'inna, that it begins to join the ruh? Because at the point of death, the ruh leaves the body. So where is the nafs? Is it left with it, or does it sort of, a part of it, join it with the ruh to go back up to Allah? I think this is where I sort of lose it a little bit.
Right. When, for example, the verse of the Quran actually, which is Ya ayyatuhan nafsul mutmainna, so this means something is returning. Here, when we say irji'i ila rabbik, irji'i is meaning that return. So it is something which came before, only that thing is returning. What came in the body. So, irji'i ila rabbik, that it is indicating that this thing which is referring to, it came. And radiya, mardiya, it is just for istala and ease, the ulama says. Otherwise, this is not that actually, you may say, types of nafs really, but it is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, I am pleased with it and it is pleased with me. The mutmainna is radiya mardiya, you may say, the actual state. And then it says, fadkhuli fi ibadi wadkhuli jannati, that is become nafse kamil. That is just, they have given the explanation, but in actual fact, it's only the nafse mutmainna, actually, the real thing. And those are rewards of the nafse mutmainna. So if you are saying that what leaves the body, it is the ruh actually, which is the leaving the body. And then the ruh is given actually another entity in barzakh, you may say, which it desires with, which actually, so this is not this body or this actually.
And that nafs stays with it?
Yes.
Stays in the body?
Sorry?
The nafs will stay in the body?
No, the nafs doesn't say. Here the nafs is the ruh actually which is meant, which is returning. Yes, not actually. Yeah. Like Dr. Aziz mentioned that when, that's why maybe Maulai Arabi and what, that when then actually nafs, you may say, become purified, it comes in the hukam of the ruh. It is like a ruh. So in order to explain again, make it more clear, so you may say, like, this is the body, this is the ruh. Okay, so now we can understand this in an example of this water. This water, this has also 2 atoms in it, and it is existing. That H2O meaning 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen. When they are separate, water is not in existence. They are in gas form, dead form. They are not. We can't see like this at all. But when they come together, then a third thing come in existence. So now there is water, there is hydrogen, and there is oxygen. And the water is there as well, we can say. But that cannot exist without hydrogen. So when the spirit, the ruh, comes and touches the body, a third thing come into existence. Actually, the nafs, meaning actually it starts desiring, wishing, because otherwise actually. And when it separates, then actually again it is in this state. But all for tazkiyah point of view, all you need to know is that it is the emotional self, the emotional part where all these temporal desires and wish comes. That is what we need to know. While this is the reality it has, we don't understand the reality of the ruh. All we need to know, it is a life force, it is a living being, and it is giving us life, it has a decision making. We can't even see our mind, brain, we can see a mind, but we should know that it thinks, we should think good, we shouldn't think evil. That's what we will be concerned with. Similarly with the nafs, we should wish good, not evil. And with the body as well, actually, the same thing as well. MashaAllah. One scientist in London a few years back, he was, I think, from China or Japan, of neuroscience and psychology. He became Muslim by just reading this verse of the Quran. Allahu yatawaffal anfusa hina mautiha wallati, that Allah possesses the souls at the time of death and the time of sleep. And some he sends back, some he keeps there, and some he has. So they did test on sleeping people, and they discovered that actually something really separates from it actually at all, like a death-like state. Or to nahi kuch, anything else? جزاك الله سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب
Can all the participants remain seated? We'll just gonna receive instructions as to what our next plan is. Stretch your legs.